Hello friends, welcome to the Business Guruji. Please subscribe our channel to get the latest videos from our channels. Today we will be looking at one of the very important function of Excel, which is V-Lookup and H-Lookup. V-Lookup and H-Lookup are used to search the data from a database which is available and create it in Excel in an organized manner. VLOOKUP is used when the data is organized in columns, and HLOOKUP is used when the data is organized in rows. So if you see, we have created a sample data for your reference. Uh, in this particular set, we have data organized into column form. You see names, age, and class. So we have 5 students whose age is mentioned and their respective class is mentioned. Similarly, for HLOOKUP, the data is organized into rows. So before getting into more of the operational uses, let's see how to use the formula. So for example, you want to identify the age and class of the person against whose name is written. For example, if you have to identify the age of Chris, so you use a quick formula is equals to VLOOKUP. I'll press the tab key so that it comes up automatically, and you can look all the variables that are being required. By actually following what is being given by the hint as an Excel, by the Excel, you can easily look and do what is required. So the first thing is lookup value. What is the VLOOKUP value? Lookup value is the name through which is the reference that you want to use, which is Chris, comma, table array. From where do you want to start? I want to start from this particular row. Now, one thing that is to be kept in mind is the indicator against which you want to match has to be the row number 1. Otherwise, this function would not work. I will also press the F4 key, function 4 key, to freeze the cells. Now you can see that the dollar sign has come against these values and it has freezed the cells. That means whenever I copy the formula to other cells, this table will remain intact and would not move, comma. Now they're asking for the column index number. So for example, if you want to go to age, it is column at number 2. So you start counting from the row number 1, and age is at row number 2. So the column index would come at row number 2. So you always start from the column which you have started. So name would always be 1, followed by age 2, and class as 3. Now followed by true match and exact match. So we normally use the exact match function so that we get the right results. So you can either write false or you can either write 0 for the exact match, or 1 could be used as a true match. So if you see, Chris has come to 15, so which was the age of Chris. Now if we want to copy this to Jennifer, we will copy and paste it to this. So you see Jennifer's age is 10, which is exactly replicated here. Now suppose if I change Chris to say Harry, the answer should come as 14, which is 14. Similarly, now if I want to copy, we'll use the same formula for class. I'll use VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP value is Harry. VLOOKUP array is this. I will again press the function F4 key to freeze these cells. Now column index number will move from 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3, comma, we'll use the exact match. So you see the class of Harry is 8, which is being reflected here. I will copy and I will paste it here. There's one limitation of VLOOKUP. We cannot copy and paste the same into the other. So if I copy and paste, the function will remain as 2. So you have to actually change it manually. To first you have to freeze the K so that it doesn't move. The row stays same. And when you paste it, it will become 14. So you have to manually change it to 3. so that it reflects the right thing that you want. Let's have a look at H-Lookup function. Like mentioned, H-Lookup is used when the columns are identified in rows, when the data is identified in rows. So I will use H-Lookup. Lookup value is Jennifer, which is M3. Lookup array is this E3 to J5. I will again freeze this. Now row index number. So again we'll start as 1, name would be 1 and age would be 2. I will put it as 2 and then we will look at the exact match. So it comes out to be 10. Now in copy, I'll paste it here. So if you see the formula, it is moving from Chris M4 E3 to J5 2, 0. Now we'll quickly use this for class equal to H lookup Jennifer, sorry, table array freeze. Row index number would now become 1, 2 and 3 and 0. We get 4, which is 4. Now I'll paste it for Chris, becomes 9. Now if I want to check for John, both of these parameters change, which is 12 and 6, hence my answer is correct. So we use VLOOKUP when we have a whole bunch of data and it is very impossible to look at each line item into Excel and copy paste the data. So you just have to quickly use this function and get this data at a click of your button. However, there are few limitations of VLOOKUP like I mentioned. So the column address, which is the index, should start from the first row. You cannot take a data which, for example, if you have age in column number C, VLOOKUP would not work. You will have to recreate age into a column which is after your starting address. The second disadvantage of VLOOKUP is it is slower than other functions like index, which does the same work and are much faster. The reason behind this is VLOOKUP uses a lot of space. For example, if you want to only identify class, you will have to select from D4 till F9, where even though you don't need age, it will be considered into your formula and it will create the formula heavy and your Excel sheet would be a bit heavier than if we use index function. So in our next video, we will be showing you the use of index function and how it is faster than the VLOOKUP. So stay tuned. See you in next class. Bye bye.